And this is A&B Convos Wrestling Edition.
Welcome everyone to the most must-see wrestling review and live reaction show on YouTube. Welcome to A&B Convos. Alright, it is time.
Oh, it's a WrestleMania day.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages.
Well, 13 of them.
The grandest stage of them all. Night one is today.
Yes.
And for the first time in over a year, live fans are returning to the WWE.
A little envious of the fans.
Yeah, so we were going to do this.
We were going to do it.
There was discussion about it, but again, very COVID-y out there. Very COVID-y.
Don't want the
too
vid.
much. Don't want the vid. So we will wait until they come out here to I think it's SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles next year. We're really excited about that. But without further ado, let's get into it because we saw NXT TakeOver night one, night two.
Yes.
Action.
Yes.
Surprises.
Mm-hmm.
So what do we got?
I mean, WrestleMania is jam-packed, full of matches that we want to see. So, I mean, this is a prediction show. So let's get to the prediction.
Well, this is not going to be a prediction. This is a spoiler. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is not Paul Heyman. We will get to that in a minute. Talk about your tribal chief, not my tribal chief. Okay, we'll call him the tribal tapper or the tapper chief, whichever hashtag whatever you prefer. Because we saw Danny Bryan said it. He said it on SmackDown. Watch SmackDown last
Daniel
night.
said a lot of stuff.
I made you tap for the first time in your career, and I'm going to make you tap again. I'm excited. But we'll get to that. Night one is today. So who do we got on the card? First and foremost, let's talk about the ladies.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we got a tag team turmoil.
Yes.
And they've kind of, built us up a little bit. We've seen some stuff going on in the ring and backstage a little bit. So we got the teams of Natalya and Tamina versus Naomi and Lana, Mandy Rose, Dana Brooke versus the Riot Squad, laying on them.
It's not okay. So I'm a little bit torn because you kind of got to go back and forth between who you want to win, right? Who you're rooting for, and then who you think will win. So on one hand, they've been kind of building it up to make you think Tamina and Natalya are going to win. And we would like for them to win. We would like to see Tamina. Not only would we like to see her have a belt, but last night, she really did step to Nia Jax and show her what's up, right? And, they mentioned the family thing a little, but, on the flip side, we got Lana and Trin in there. And there's a part of you that wonders if they're finally going to bring that full circle for Lana because we thought they were going to do that with her. So I want Tamina and Natalya to win. But I think they may give it to Lana and Trinity. Naomi. Sorry.
Wow. Okay. Well, this is sort of like for me. I don't know if you guys ever watch HGTV and see House Hunters. So they see three houses and at the end
right.
they always X one out. So I'm gonna go ahead and X one out right now. Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke.
Yeah, they're
not even the contender.
I don't think so.
Interesting tag team.
They could be. They look like they would be powerhouses.
Yes, but the thing is, honestly, in my opinion, and there's nothing wrong with it, but they're mid-cards. And mid-cards do not get titles. So I'm going to say they're gone. If I had to put my money on anybody, it honestly should be, like you said, Lana and Naomi, because Lana took so much crap for so many weeks from Nia Jax. It would be just desserts to actually win the titles from her at Mania. Because this whole time we've been saying there's been no payoff. Right. 9 times through a table, no payoff whatsoever.
Right.
So if WWE really took to heart what we've been saying all this time, it would be them. Obviously, Tamina and Natalya have been looking really, really strong.
Right.
You know how we feel about Natalya. Don't get us started on that. But Tamina,
I feel like she was stepping it up a little.
she has stepped it up
Mm-hmm.
because of Tamina. Because of Tamina. Okay. Chilly. It's cold in the studio today. So I honestly think that it should be Tamina and Natalya because they, especially for Tamina's sake, she needs a strap. If I got to pick one of the two, I'm going to go with you on this.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Lana and Naomi. And then if they do, Naomi, if you're hearing this, if you're watching this, please do what you did with the women's SmackDown Championship belt.
The glow belt. The glow belt.
Bling it out and make sure they put that in the WWE shop because we want that.
Like this, I cannot believe the glow belt has never been available.
It was fantastic.
It's one of the best belts ever.
Now let's get on to what we got, the Raw Tag Team Championship.
Yes.
So,
you want to go for the New Day, but they're going to really debut Omos and not give that giant the belt. I don't see that.
We don't know what the man is capable of. We know he's big. We know he's strong. We know he almost cracks like a Saturday Night Live. Like every time you see him, he wants to laugh all the time.
Right.
So he has a good sense of humor. Is this man championship material? I don't know. I will say this. In the last few videos we've done, you've seen in the comments, there seemed to be a little backlash against the New Day for getting the straps as many times as they have.
Yeah.
So I almost feel like if they did win, that backlash might continue. So for that sake, it would probably be best that they didn't win.
Yeah.
So I'm going AJ and Omos on this.
I'm going to agree.
All right. Do you agree or disagree? I don't know. But is this match going to be good? Because I don't want to see AJ Styles and the New Day do all the work, and then Omos is just like throwing guys around. You know what I mean? Like if you've been in this long enough, you need to show us something. Big men can move. We want to see you move.
Okay.
So now, embrace the vision. I don't know what it is.
Don't know what that vision is.
Cesaro. I don't know. I do know, but.
Seth. They didn't bring Seth back to lose. Cesaro is really strong, and they've been making him look really good against Seth, and he has got the upper hand on Seth, which makes Seth is going to take it. Besides the fact that they cannot have Seth coming out to lose to people, not at WrestleMania, unless they didn't bring him back to be anything but a mid-carder, and that's just not what he is.
He's not a mid-carder. He's not a mid-carder. This is true. I'm a fan of Cesaro. The thing about Cesaro is, as a singles competitor, he never really broke out.
Right.
He didn't really. I mean, we know he's ridiculously strong, extremely talented
strong
in the ring, but he never really broke out as that superstar.
Right.
Face of the company. Now, when he was tagged with Sheamus, the bar was fantastic.
They were fantastic, and they're both struggling without one another. Sheamus is back. Don't know why they have not brought that back.
Me either. And we've seen a little shade of him and Shinsuke kind of coming in and helping him after Seth puts a curb stomp and all that stuff. So it should be Seth Rollins at Mania. And he's had a great video package. We saw that on SmackDown.
Oh, gosh, that was great.
But I think for that reason, he needs to lose.
Seth needs to lose?
I think Seth needs to lose in order
I'm going to disagree,
elevate.
homeboy.
He has to lose in order to elevate Cesaro to that next level. Cesaro could put on a good show. We already know this. But if he loses, that essentially just puts him right back down the line. That's no good for him.
No, I agree, but I don't see Cesaro being a main eventer. He doesn't have the flair. He doesn't, no pun intended.
Woo!
I mean, he doesn't have, you have to be the whole package.
Okay, you're going Seth.
I'm going Seth.
All right. So we'll see what happens here. We got Seth, we got Cesaro. Now we got the match that all of us are waiting for.
Dun, dun, dun.
Steel cage match. Braun Strowman, Shane O'Mac.
Oh.
I don't know, man. This has been some nonsense for several weeks. I don't know.
No.
I don't like it.
Okay, so let's be honest. They did all this to elevate Braun. Braun's going to win. It's that simple. Shane is going to give a hell of a fight. Shane might even hurt Braun. When Shane went against The Undertaker, that match was insane. And Shane basically ended the match by knocking himself out, but he still lost. And he will give a good fight. He always does. But this whole thing has been to elevate Braun, so Braun will win.
I gotta disagree with you, homeboy.
They're gonna let the bully win. What is the point of that?
Let me tell you why. We already have seen Shane in league with Elias and Jackson Riker.
Yeah.
Cage matches are notorious for outside interference. Notorious. One-on-one, we already know inside a cage, Shane has no chance. No chance in hell he's got. However, I sense there'll be some shenanigans. Outside interference, Shane will be victorious.
Even with the outside interference, that's all the more reason that Braun will be victorious over against all odds.
Let me say this much. Here's what's interesting. Now, I'm going to throw this out here. You let me know how you feel about this. WrestleMania is being hosted by Hulk Hogan,
right,
and Titus O'Neil.
Right.
We all know what happened with Hulk Hogan. We all know that WWE essentially erased him from the histories. We know Titus O'Neil felt some type of way about that. So we also know why you decided to have these two co-host WrestleMania.
Right.
You have in this match, and there was an issue, a little social media post by Braun. Okay.
Oh.
We also had a situation with Jackson Riker. We already know. All I'm saying is this: there seems to me to be some underlying component. I don't think I'm reading too much into this, but hear me out.
Oh.
I think there's some underlying component because the one thing with WWE, they have a tendency, and Big Show even mentioned this as well, which he said one of the breaking points for him.
No
is
more
why he felt
BS.
he wanted to move exactly. WWE has a tendency to punish their superstars, and we've seen that with Aleister Black, because we haven't seen him.
Oh God, he is somewhere in the corner on time out.
Right? People get buried. Ricochet. I mean.
Yeah, so you think that they're punishing Braun for that text?
I honestly believe that from the very top of the host to these matches, I think there's some underlying reasoning behind this.
Repentance.
That's all I'm saying. So for that reason, I'm going to go Shane McMahon. I don't sound off on that.
Interesting.
If y'all know what I'm talking about, give it some thought.
Very interesting.
Now we got Bad Bunny going against. I'm saying Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny, Damian Priest, Ms. Morrison. Hey, hop, hop. Who you got?
You got to go with Bad Bunny and Priest because Miz is doing his job and he's elevating Bad Bunny, giving him the spotlight. And they didn't bring Damian Priest over to lose at WrestleMania. So we're going to go with Bad Bunny and Damian Priest.
We've seen.
But I love Morrison, don't get me wrong.
No, we love Miz and Morrison.
We love him.
And obviously WWE loves Miz, otherwise he wouldn't be a grandest. He is. For me, I'm gonna say this much. We've seen this so many times when you bring up superstars from NXT to the main roster, and the very things that we loved about them, we don't see on the main roster. And honestly, Damian Priest was a major player in NXT. Can we honestly say the same right now? No. He's been essentially teamed up with Bad Bunny, which I understand. Bad Bunny is a superstar, and you want this leading up to Mania, which is fine. But as a superstar himself, Damian Priest should be able to get in that ring, shine, have excellent matches week after week, be strong. And unfortunately, it's been him trying to play up Bad Bunny against Mr. Morrison. It just makes him look weak. I don't like it. And I think for that reason, they're going to lose. And here's what I think is going to happen. I think Miz and Morrison are going to win. And I think Damian Priest will turn on Bad Bunny.
And just kind of destroy
I
everybody
think he's
after.
about to go heel. I think we're about to see a heel turn.
That would be good for
That's
him
what I'm
because I think they're going to have him win. I think they're going to give him the win. I think they're going to give him the win.
Bad Bunny and Damian Priest.
Yeah, but I do think that a heel turn would be best for him.
He needs something.
Mhm.
He needs something after, because unless Bad Bunny is going to continue on, which I don't really see happening until SummerSlam.
Right.
There has to be something else here. We need some kind of we need some fire under Damian Priest. So I think that's what's going to happen.
Okay.
Now, the match we're all been waiting for. Your girl, the EST, Bianca Belair, going against the BOSS, Sasha Banks. Who do you know?
Bianca. I just don't think Sasha can honestly beat Bianca. I really don't. And I don't. Are you really going to have Bianca come in and be the overcomer and do her documentary and build her up just to get her up there to have her throw the match? I don't think Sasha can beat Bianca. I really don't. So I'm gonna go for Bianca on this.
I like it. I like it a lot. And my reason for this, I'm going to agree with you on this. Undertaker had his WrestleMania win streak for 20 years. It was unceremoniously ended. We talked about that. I'm not going to get into that right now.
Stupid.
Extremely. Bless you.
Thank you.
You okay, Bone Crusher? Scared Bone Crusher.
Oh.
So I say this. I say if right now Sasha Banks' win streak at WrestleMania is 0. And I say that continues. You'll be remembered, and there's nothing wrong with being remembered for being a loser at WrestleMania. That's fine. You've been
At least you were there.
a tag champ, you've been a women's champ. No shame in that. So I say, if anything to be remembered for, have a 20-year losing streak at Mania. Just to have that one win, just like that was, we had the loss in 20 years, you can have the win in 20 years. You will be remembered, and we will love you for it. So I'm going to say Bianca Belair as well.
Okay.
That is night 1. Let's go to night 2.
Yes.
We're going to go with your favorite wrestler of all time, the current United States champion, Matt Riddle.
Oh, please take that belt from him. Please take that belt from him. Oh my
God.
God.
Matt is just Riddle.
I just cannot feel it, dude. I feel like I'm watching a caveman, and I know he's supposed to just be like a stoner skater or whatever.
Oh.
What? But I'm just saying, like, at his age, I'm just not feeling it.
She's not a fan.
I don't know. I'm just not a fan. It made him look so bad with Bobby that for him to go on and win against Sheamus wouldn't make any kind of sense. And Sheamus has been kicking ass this last year. Give him a title. He is a title-worthy competitor.
He needs it. I think now, don't forget, as much as you don't like Matt Riddle is a trained MMA guy.
Yes,
he is no
he tells
easy
me
win.
all the time.
Now, granted, he won the United States champion not by pinning Bobby, the man that just ragdolled him. So, not really a strong showing for him.
Yeah. He didn't really, it's the same thing when you have any triple threat match and you win by default.
Yeah, that's essentially what it was. So, unless Matt can have a really strong showing and win decisively tonight, I think it's going to be.
Let me ask you this. If he wins against Sheamus, what does that mean for Sheamus? You go against Bobby, you lose. You go against Drew, huge battles, you lose. You win against Keith, you lost. You go against Riddle and lose. What are they doing with Sheamus? He's there just to lose. He went against Big E, ultimately lost.
We've seen that with Rey Mysterio. I mean, this guy is.
So is that where we're at now with
He is a
Sheamus?
legend.
He's just there to give a good fight, but he's only there to lose.
I don't know.
I have a problem with
But
that.
I'm going to say Sheamus.
Yes. Thank you.
I'm going to say
Thank
Sheamus.
you.
All right, now we have the women's tag team championship match. Depending on who's going to win,
Right.
night one, they will go on to face Nia Jackson, Shayna Baszler.
I think they're
I
breaking
don't
this
know.
tag title up. I think no matter who it is, they're about to lose. I think they're breaking the tag title up.
So you're saying no matter who wins on one,
I think
it would be Nia
Yes.
Jackson. Okay.
Yep. I'm going against Jax and Baszler, no matter who it is.
Wow.
I mean, unless it's like Mandy Rose in there.
Yeah, if that's a sleeper of the night, and Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke actually face them. That'd be a squash match. We already know this.
Yeah.
This would be nonsense. I didn't want to see it. So
Yeah.
interesting. All right. So now we have Kevin Owens with Sami Zayn and Logan Paul in his corner. That was a really interesting segment that we saw with Logan Paul before. Sami Zayn jumped in there, stunner, pushed Logan out of the way, and he saw Logan's face. He really wasn't feeling that. And he does some boxing.
Yeah.
So I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, I feel like I was gonna say KO, believe it or not.
She does not like him.
I don't, but that doesn't mean this is not really about who you like. This is about who you think will win, right? So I'm going to say Sami Zayn with interference from Logan Paul that helps him get the win.
Oh, wow. I'm actually going to say Kevin Owens because of interference by Logan Paul.
Oh.
I mean, I'm digging this crazy
Interesting.
zaniness of Sami Zayn. And the fact of the matter is, let's be honest, Kevin Owens has been losing at major pay-per-views.
Yeah, but he has a Mania win
He needs a
under
win.
his belt.
He needs
He
a he
does
needs a win.
need a
He
win.
needs a win right now. So I'm going Kevin Owens. You going Sami Zayn?
I'm not set in stone. I feel like either way, Logan Paul. I don't feel like Sami Zayn can beat KO one-on-one, but you have Logan Paul in your corner, and he's there for a reason. So I'm gonna say Sammy will take it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So my question to you then, what about this Nigerian drum fight? Big E, Apollo Crews.
The thing is, Big E has won every time that they've just faced each other head up.
But at what cost? At what cost?
And then it's like you get to this, and it's in Big E's hometown, and Apollo's doing this whole thing.
Let me do the Nigerian drum. Come on now. Lay it on us. Lay it on us.
I'm gonna say Apollo.
Snapperoni.
I'm gonna say Apollo.
And we are in agreement, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to say Apollo because, again, WWE has this tendency to have people in their hometown lose at matches. They do it all the time. I think it's going to be a good fight. We've seen some excellent promos, but at this point, if Apollo doesn't win this match and doesn't win this title, that's going to be a disservice to this whole character change.
Yeah, exactly. You do this whole thing to just lose, and then go all the way to Mania to lose. That wouldn't really make sense.
Now's the time. Do it now.
Yes.
Judas said we'll talk about that later. All right. The Fiend. Orton.
They know you cannot let Randy win. You cannot let Randy win. You cannot bring this man back from the crispies of hell and have him lose to Randy Orton. It cannot happen. It would be as dumb as them having The Undertaker lose to Brock Lesnar or having The Fiend lose to Goldberg. All of those dumb moves that they make that totally take away from the whole demon phenom. You can't do it. He has to win. I mean, will he die? I don't know. But lose, he should lose.
So the Fiend should lose.
No, you know
Fiend
that's
should
not what I said. The Fiend is going to lose. I mean, win. Y'all messing me up now.
I say, I think we're expecting the Fiend to win, especially with Alexa Bliss. I'm going to go on this.
Well, that's definitely a prediction and not a spoiler.
I'm going to go
That's
on this.
wrong.
Yeah, I'm going to go Orton on this. I think
There's no way.
He needs it because honestly, even if the Fiend win or lose, the Fiend and Alexa Bliss will be fine. They will go on. They will do other crazy, zany things.
He's the Fiend. First of all, what is the Fiend now? He's like this charcoal puppet. There's no zany anything. He just does what Alexa tells him
It's like
to.
that marshmallow that you leave in the fire a little too long. No. It's just, you know, that's what it is. But I'm saying, I think Orton's going to take it.
I had a dream about Bray Wyatt last night.
Oh.
Anyway.
All right, we'll talk about that later. Raw Women's Championship. Asuka, Rhea Ripley, called up from NXT. First night, lays a challenge down to Asuka, and she accepts. What do you think?
Nah, Asuka's going to retain. First of all, I would say the opposite had she not did what she did to Baszler because they weren't doing anything with her. They missed a whole pay-per-view with her on it. You barely saw her. When she came out after she got her teeth kicked out and put those receipts on Baszler, she showed us how dangerous she can be and how crazy she can get. And because Rhea is doing this heel turn and just came onto the roster, I don't think they're going to give her the title.
I'm going to agree with you on this one. I think what's going to happen is Asuka. I think it'll be a good fight.
Oh yeah,
I think it'll be an excellent fight. I think Asuka's going to retain, and I think we're going to see. I think we're going to see a turn from Rhea. I think she's going to go in on Asuka, open up a whole can afterwards, and then we're going to see full heel Rhea going into Monday Night Raw.
Yes,
this is what I'm thinking because honestly, it would be insane. It would be insane if both respective women champions lose their titles at WrestleMania.
Right.
I don't see it happening.
And I think that after Asuka retains, that Rhea is going to assault her to like really solidify her heel turn.
Either way, Rhea's not ready for Asuka. Never has been. Never will be.
I'm not going to say never will be. My girl will be champ one day, but not today. Not tomorrow either.
Now let's go for the match that I know you are most interested in. The triple threat. Roman Reigns, Daniel Bryan, and the rated R superstar, Edge. We already know you feel some type of way about this. Please let the people.
Well, wait a minute. Before we do that one, did we miss Drew and Bobby on that one?
We did, and we're
gonna circle back. Okay. So let me think really, really hard. Oh, the tribal chief. There's nothing to think about.
There's a lot to think about. It was okay. So even in a triple threat, even if this wasn't, even if it was just Roman and Edge, would you still say Roman?
Always.
So
I'm always going to say Roman.
That's why he's going to lose, ladies and gentlemen. That's why he's going to lose. Look, here's the thing. We've seen the crack in the armor. Okay, you guys can kind of history. You can Xerxes erased you from the histories. Okay? The fact of the matter is, Daniel Bryan made him tap. Now, I don't care if it happened after the match, during the match, before the match, Brett was there. It doesn't matter. You saw it. We all saw it.
Mm-hmm.
Crack in the armor of Roman Reigns. Roman is good. He puts that chokehold on either one of those guys, it is pretty much going to be over. These guys have broken freaking necks, like Kurt Angle. However, after 9 years, returning, and even Daniel Bryan, both of these guys essentially retired, have come back. One of them deserves another title run. And my money, Daniel Bryan.
Edge comes back after all this time. In between Edge and Daniel, you pick Daniel.
Let me tell you why. Because it'll be fine. The tribal chief can, get into it and have his fit and whatever. Edge feels some type of way about Daniel interjecting himself into this match. If he actually does win this, and I say he will, Edge will be furious and will go off and will do everything he can to take it back.
Oh, you just Xing my whole chief out of the whole storyline now?
Out of the whole storyline. I'm saying we will see a feud between Daniel Bryan and Edge for the Universal Championship. However, on the off chance that Roman Reigns pulls out a victory, ekes out a victory, some way, somehow. We've seen a lot of talk in the comments about the possibility of Brock Lesnar returning. I say, to create the ultimate drama, he returns. Klein versus Klein. I think that would be amazing.
And if that happened, you would still have Edge blaming Bryan for losing.
And then they can still have
battle.
their thing. Absolutely. They can still have their thing. And then you have, what Paul Heyman's going to stand there and be like, okay, wait a minute. This is my guy. This is my, I can't, he does that thing.
Right.
Drama. That is what you want. Okay, if you're going to have a surprise at WrestleMania, you hear Brock's music hit. Man, because we already have seen Roman Reigns go to Suplex City. He doesn't want that, but this is a different Roman Reigns. And so the tribal chief knows in his heart of heart, he still has something to prove against him if he shows up. Come on, WWE. You still got time to make it happen. If Roman wins.
When Roman wins.
She won't. So now, yes, we did skip over, so let's get into Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre. Bobby's been looking real strong. Got a little arrogant with the Hurt business.
I don't know. I think it seems like the Hurt Business is going to interfere, but they were banned by Ringside. Are they unbanned just because they're not friends?
Well, technically they're not in the Hurt Business anymore.
Okay.
So,
Drew is so strong. We saw him against Goldberg. We saw him against Lesnar. We've seen him, but he's not unbeatable because he did lose to the tribal chief. And Bobby is so crazy strong and also has a strong MMA background. And I just don't feel like he's had the belt long enough. But I don't know what they would do with Drew otherwise.
Come on.
I don't know.
All right, let me call it for you. Bobby's been looking incredible these past several weeks. I'm going to say, and it would be a real shame, but Cedric and Shelton, I think, will be a factor in this.
Yeah.
And I think they will cause him to lose the title. And Drew's going to take it.
I tend to agree with you. They've made it pretty obvious that they plan on interfering and that he was only champion to them because of them. And so they plan on doing something about that.
They got something to say. They got a whole lot to say.
It'd be interesting if we think that they're going to interfere with Bobby, but this whole thing was a setup to take Drew off his guard, and really there's still a Hurt Business. And then they interfere for Bobby to take it, and the Hurt Business is still together. This was all just a ploy.
That would be cool.
That would be crazy good because people are upset about the Hurt Business breaking up. Yeah. It would be a good way to get them back together and to make sure Bobby retains.
Interesting point. That would be a good WrestleMania moment to have that drama come in. Like you see them coming out there, and all of a sudden you got the hug at the end, and Drew's laying there.
Yeah.
That would be okay. All right.
That'd be interesting.
That, ladies and gentlemen, are our WrestleMania 37 predictions. Night 1, Night 2.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to happen? Please drop a comment below, and be sure to come back because we are going live for WrestleMania today.
Yes.
At 5 p.m.
Yes.
Pacific Standard Time.
Yes, and this is the only channel, the people's YouTube channel, where you want to be to watch WrestleMania. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so now. If you haven't hit that notification bell, ding, ding, you need to do that so you will be notified when we go live tonight.
Thank you guys so much for watching this. Make sure you share, like and share the video. Again, come back right here in just a few hours. A&B Convos
Wrestling Edition.
We will see you all at
WrestleMania.
Yeah, you got some. Okay, you called a few things. Okay, but you know my predictions here.
The floor.
You know what? Why can't you go out there? You know?
No, you know I love you, baby.